video that. I will do. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Very exciting.
So, Suzanne, one of the things that I think that I want to encourage you to do is to actually, as you're editing the book, think about what are the visual models that you could inject in there, because now's the right time to do it.
Yeah.
That are yours. So, and I just think it's such a strong idea. I see the other guy, I see Taki Moore doing a lot of. Well, he actually used a lot of Matt Church's stuff and changed it. You know, so Matt Church did models, and then Taki went, oh yeah, I'll do that model, but I'll change mine to this. And that's what I'm seeing so many coaches are doing there. It's just another way of making it clear, but giving you some IP yourself.
Yeah. Yep, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Can I share some good news that I forgot to mention?
Do tell.
You mentioned Brad. Well, I was talking with the editor, and she's like, can you choose somebody that you would like to ask to do the front of the book? You know, what do you call it?
Yeah, the introduction.
Yeah, introduction. And she said someone who's, you know, got a higher profile than you, someone who you look up to and everything. And I said, well, probably it would be Brad Sugars, because, you know, I started my journey with Brad Sugars back when I was, you know, a small business owner. So long time ago, when he was in his late 20s, and we're talking about 20 odd years ago.
Yeah.
And I said he would be the first, because he's been there right through when I had a coach myself, and I went and saw him on stage in the early 90s, and for the last sort of 25 odd years. And he was on the top of the list. So I just sent him an email, and he replied within 30 seconds and said, I'd be delighted to.
Awesome. Wow.
And I wasn't going to ask him, because I thought so many action coaches have written books, and not many of them have had, well, I can't remember any that have had him write before to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, he obviously is not, he would have done it before if he wanted to. And I was
I think he's written one or two, but
I didn't.
Not many.
Nah, and I just emailed him, and honestly, it was within 30 seconds from his iPhone. It just said, I'd love to, Sue. That was great.
That's fantastic.
I was so shocked. I was like, he was the top of the list, and I had about 10, and I'm like, I'll start from the top and work down. And I'm like, shit, I don't need to worry about the rest.
Yeah.
You wasted all that time writing 9 other names, didn't you?
Yeah. Exactly.
The other thing that you can do, so some of those other people, do you know them, or have you worked with them?
Because I was thinking I could get them to do a testimonial once I've got an edited copy and send to them. Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things that I think you should do, Alan, did you put testimonials in the front of your new book?
No.
Okay. So let me just show you a book that I really like, which is Triggers by Marshall Goldsmith, right? And Susie, you were over at his...
Good
book. You did his thing over in Vegas with us, didn't you?
I would have loved to. No,
you didn't? You weren't there?
I was there in heart.
Right. So I did 2 days with Marshall, the guy who wrote this book. And he actually spoke quite a lot about writing books. And he was probably one of the mentors that I thought, this is really good. Yep. You can update this at any time. Because of our printing process, you can add this in at any time. But he actually has, so that, like, literally the first sort of page is, and it says, what great CEOs and thought leaders have to say about triggers and working with Marshall Goldsmith. Yeah. Right? And now he's got pages and pages and pages of this. Right? Now, he's a mega, so what that's like, so many pages, but we're talking about the president of the World Bank, the Indian Entrepreneur of the Year, the CEO of the New York Public Library. We're talking about big names in his case. Mm-hmm. But here's the interesting thing about that. they're not reviewing his book. They're testimonials about the ideas in Trigger and working with Marshall Goldsmith.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, every one of us could get 3 or 4 or 5 testimonials straight up.
Yeah.
Because if we title it, you know, what business leaders have to say about name of your book and working with Suzanne Laidlaw,
Yeah.
you've got pages and pages of testimonials
Yeah.
you could put in there already, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same with you, Al,
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So my challenge to you is I want you to get some testimonials. Now, Susie, you've got the chance to put them in already, like before you print it.
Yeah.
Al, you've printed yours on Ingram Spark, right?
Yeah, and I've run out, so I need to
Right.
reprint.
So all you got to do is just add it to the front of the Word doc,
Yep.
re-output the PDF, upload, and as long as it's not more than a few pages, like if it's sort of 4 or 5 pages that you've added,
Yeah.
you won't need to change the cover or anything. It should be all fine.
Yep.
If you add 20 pages or something, which would be too much, but if you were, then you'd just redo the cover template.
Yep.
Just for the spine, the width of the
Correct.
spine.
Yep.
But I did that. I did the first book that I put out there, and then I thought, I'll put in some testimonials, you know, because Marshall actually wrote me a testimonial, and I added that in there, and so testimonials are good, but I want you not just to think about them as testimonials for the book. It's testimonials about working with you and the book, because the ideas in the book are, you know, broadly what they're working with you on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is good news, Susie, and I think you can leverage off that too.
I was so shocked. I was like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, right? So, if you could get, let's see, particularly because if more people are aware of planning, then you're going to have more planning club people.
Yeah, I had Ivan Meisner on it. I think he would be fine. I've had lunch with him.
Yep.
And
get his testimonial anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure Ivan would write a testimonial for me. I mean, I've been in BNI now for 10 years.
Yep.
And I've been a director consultant for like 8 of them. And I've had lunch with him when he was in Perth. And, I'm sure he would. So, yeah, there was a few names there that I thought would support what I've done.
So the question that you're asking people is, you're saying, look, I'm just putting, a thing in the front of my book. Obviously, you haven't read the book. But what I wanted to do was just get a paragraph on what your experience was like working with me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, and then we can say, you know, what because Ivan Meisner is a big deal.
Yeah.
Like having him say, you know, Susie's been a delight to work with for the last 10 years and da-da-da-da-da.
Mm-hmm.
Totally cool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether he will or not, but anyway.
Make it easy for them.
All he has to do is look at my stats over the last 10 years and go, she's dedicated and faithful. She's never not been in the green in 10 years.
Yeah. Yep.
Pretty incredible.
And particularly since you had lunch with him,
he won't remember me, but there was 10 of us that had lunch with him because
just remind him of that.
Exactly. Yeah.
So Al, let's talk about what you guys are focusing on over the next month. So Susie, I imagine for you the focus is really around getting the editing done and adding in.
Yeah. Mid-November, I think 11th of November, that's all got to be finished.
Yep, cool. Al, what's your focus for the next month with this?
My focus is going to be continuing to trial different ad campaigns.
Yep.
And then warm up the leads that are coming in.
Yep, okay. So I was going to suggest that because I think that the Facebook Leads project, I'm going to be doing a lot more work on that with everyone over the next little while because, and I'll tell you a story. I've started doing a pilot program and I don't know whether you've maybe seen emails or something come from me, and this is inspired by, I don't know whether you saw the interview with Lars Allen, the black belt interview a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, I did. Yep.
Right. And that really, really inspired me. And what it is this, you know, if you've got a 12-month program, whether it's coaching, whether it's one-to-one, whether it's group, a guy called Dean Jackson, who's a really smart marketer, posed the question, what if you had to get a result for your people before they paid you? What would you do differently? And I thought, oh, that's such an interesting idea, because what I'd do differently is I'd go, rather than go, here's a 12-month program, just have faith and get on the program. I'd go, okay, let's do 30 days of work and I won't charge you a cent. We'll get lots of work done in that 30 days, and specifically, here's what we're going to get done. And then some of you will continue on the program and some of you won't, and that's totally cool. So it's just let's get everyone on. That's been hugely successful. I've already got about 10 people enrolled in the pilot program, and I've come to my computer this morning and I've got another 10 interviews with people who want to be on it. And it's from all over the world. So really cool, right? Whether that's now, because the program I'm doing is leveraged, where we're doing group coaching with them, right? So it doesn't add, whether there's 10 on there or 20 or 100, it doesn't matter. It's just about getting them a result. So in terms of what you guys are doing, all I've done is gone, okay, here's the distance I want my students to go in 12 months. What's the distance that I can get them in 30 days? And what's the specific result? So really what I'm doing is, if you think about it from what you guys know, we're going to do the book plan, right? So we're going to get all their ideas out of their head and turn it into a plan. And then we're going to get a clear idea that'll give them a clear idea of who their niche is. And we'll develop a product ecosystem that comes out of that book, whether that's workshops or programs or short or whatever, right? So I can give them a clear path to what they can achieve in 30 days. We can't build it all, but we can take them from completely fuzzy to absolutely clear on what the next step is.
Yeah, and you've also stretched the gap between where they are now and where they want to be, because now they can see it. Right.
So the really cool thing is people have to apply, right? So they fill out a form and then they book a call, like a 15-minute call with me. And I've had one or two people that weren't a good fit, and so I didn't offer them a place. But everyone who I've offered a place has been like, thank you. I'm so excited about it. You know, they're grateful, and I think they're going to be really great participants. And as I say, I don't care if 2 of them end up going through to being, you know, actual paying clients. It's expanding the people that I'm helping. The thing about it is, it all started with offering the book through the Facebook ads. And then I've got a group of people, and so they've all opted in to download, you know, the PDF of the book, right? They haven't even purchased an actual printed copy. They've just given me their name, their phone number, and their email in exchange for a copy of the book. Then I've gone, okay, what's the next step for them? Because going from I just downloaded a PDF of your book to full paying clients, too big a step. And so I've warmed them up with case studies and bits and pieces like that. But this pilot program has been really, really, really good. So here's the thing. I just thought I'd put it out there, because I thought, okay, if I had to make a 30-day program to get people some good results, what would I include in there? And it's a bit like, what would you do for a 6-week program? So I'm actually thinking that, Susie, even though you don't have a book out yet, you could actually offer a pilot program for coaching or planning or whatever you like.
Yeah.
And run it. So 30 days, I've given them access to some e-learning stuff. but not all of it. I've locked a bunch of it.
Yep.
So that they can see it's there, but they can't get access to it. And that's mostly so that they just focus on the stuff that they need to focus on.
Yeah.
Um,
Because you must be like sort of mind reading, channeling, because what I was thinking of doing was I've got all these people that have done the planning club, like hundreds that have done it and fallen by the wayside. I was thinking of contacting them all and just saying, look, a quarter is in of the new financial year. You know, are you on track to where you wanted to be? There's still 3 quarters left. We're coming up to Christmas. You know, how about I've got this opportunity for 12 people only come into the boardroom for half a day. I'm not going to charge them to get their plan up to date. And then, you know, if they find that they get good value and if they see they're getting good value, I'll give them the opportunity to join the group for the next year.
Yeah.
I just don't know whether I should tell them about that before I offer them the free.
So I can tell you what's working for me.
Yeah.
Is let me. I'll get you the. I'm just going to bring up.
Run and get a tissue. My nose is dripping. Hold on one second.
Yeah. Al, what are your thoughts about a pilot program?
I think it's definitely something that I can do. It's just trying to, and it's probably most of what's in the 6-week course, or at least 2 parts of it.
Right. Exactly right.
And I think it's perfect for the bit that I picked up was it's for your warmed up leads. So you've moved people from, it's not a cold audience. You've now got your leads.
Yep.
Now it's another way, a lower risk way of engaging with those leads.
Yep.
To get them face to face with you. So.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
I think for me, it's to build that list because I don't have that list that you guys have.
Yep.
And then to do that for that list.
Yeah, so I think that I'm just getting the email out for you. Where are we?
So did you say, I didn't hear what you said, Alan, did you say you're going to tell them that you're offering them a long program or not tell them?
At the moment, I've got to build a list. Is what I was saying. So I'm not at the point where you guys have got a list of warm leads.
Yeah.
I've got empty space. I've got 8.
Yeah. So what do you think? Do you think if someone got to you and said, look, hey, you know, I'm giving you this opportunity to come and spend half a day complimentary, you know, if you feel it's going to be massive benefit, you'll get an opportunity to join the group for the year.
Yeah.
Do you think that's better to tell them up front?
Yes. And so can you see my screen at the moment? This is the email. So it's really important that you position it right.
And I think it's, as well, the word pilot program, to me, automatically says it's the kind of starting point.
Yes.
Yep.
And I'm amazed, actually, at the response I've had to that word.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because the other way to do this is call it a case study program. But case study program confuses people. Yeah. But I've literally copied what another guy did, right? Mm-hmm. That he said, here, do this, just do this. He said, I said, I'm starting an authority sales pilot program this month and I'm looking for a few specific people. It's the first 30 days of a 12-month program to write your book and build your business around it. It's completely free with no strings attached if you're open to finding out more. I'm looking for, if you own a service-based business like if you're already on track to do that kind of revenue, if you have a capacity for more clients, if you want to leverage your sales and delivery, if you're open to writing a book and can keep a secret.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's just building it around that. And what I want to
I could do that pretty similar to if you own a business, you know, if you want to
send you the script.
Plan.
Yeah. So this is from a guy in the States who does real estate.
Mm-hmm.
And he just says, I'm starting a new pilot program next month. I'm looking for real estate team leaders to work with. So he's identified who his target audience with. for 30 days, absolutely free of charge, to help them put the systems in place to scale their business. If you are a real estate leader with DAR, if you're on track for a goal revenue of that, if you have 3 hours a week, a burning desire to get better clients, are friendly, coachable, and open to new things, and can keep a secret, there are four to five core systems we'll work on, plus additional blah, 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 blah. No gimmicks, no strings attached. Answer a few questions about your business and set up a time to talk to us.
Yeah. And so if it's like it's a 30-day pilot program, so do you tell them up front how much it's going to be if they decide to join for the whole year?
Yep.
So
when do you do that though, Brett?
So the process is this. Actually, let me draw it so that you can see it clearly.
You don't tell them in the initial email.
No. So I've been doing is I'm not taking anyone unless I talk to them.
Yep.
Right. So I'm doing a 15-minute call. So let's get this. So the process is email. I've done a Facebook post, but either way, send the message out there. Then they answer a form, and the form has a bunch of questions that qualifies them.
So answering Suzanne's question, it only qualifies them. At the moment, you haven't told them that from the pilot program you go on to a full program.
Yeah. No, they just send me the form, and at the end of the form, they book in a 15-minute call with me. Right, and we talk. So I'm further qualifying them. I'm seeing where they're at. Talking about it, and I'm also saying, this is part of because they're often saying, "What's it all about?" And I'm saying, well, honestly, I have a 12-month program. This is the first 30 days of that. I've plenty of people already on the program. It costs X amount per month, but this first 30 days is absolutely free. You may be someone who says, I want to continue on, and that's cool. Or you may say, I've got good value out of this and I'm fine. I don't want to go further. Either way, there's no strings attached. It's not you pay in 30 days and we take your money anyway. It's we will be talking to you at the end of that 30 days to see if you want to continue.
Yeah. Yep.
And so once that 15 minutes, then I've got an email sequence that actually gets them logged on to the e-learning platform. I also take their credit card number, and I say, look, it's just to set up your account. There'll be no charge. It's just, I'm going to set up your account. But what that means is it's one less thing for them to worry about if they want to continue on.
Yeah.
Right. And so once we get into it, now that's the sequence of bringing them on. So really, I'm qualifying them. I'm qualifying them here, and I'm qualifying them here. Then now I'm setting them up for success. To get the most out of it. So there's e-learning, videos and all that sort of stuff. And as I say, I haven't started day one on this yet. But basically, what I'm going to do is 4 weeks. I'm going to bring them into the Facebook group. So you'll start seeing people in there for those 4 weeks.
Okay.
And each of those, 1, 2, 3, 4. What I'm going to do is the game plan here. I'm going to do the product ecosystem here. And a few bits in between. There's only so much you can do. But it's group. And here's the really cool thing, Susie, and I want to encourage you here. I have a client from Dallas, Texas. I have 2 from Turkey. I have 1 from Beirut. I have a couple from Australia. All over the world. Right? And so what I wonder is, could you do the same thing that you were talking about, but do it online?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's what the plan is. Yeah.
Right, cool. Because I reckon if you said, okay, the first, you know, we're going to do, you know, we're going to do a 2-hour session, you know, or I mean, a half day, I don't know what works best, whether it's a half day or whether you do an hour a week for 4 weeks and get them into that sort of system. But it's, the thing is that I like is that it's people who are interested, but aren't, the next step is too big. I think what you're talking about is people who have already paid you some money and worked with you. Yeah. Now the question is, how can you give them something that's small?
Yes.
So that it's not overwhelming for them, but keeps them on track.
Yeah, that's So the world one is the next level. That's the next one. But I'm just sort of thinking I would like to try and help these people that I already have.
Yep.
That have used the system so that they can use the tool that they've already got.
Yep.
And then maybe when the goal is when the book's out, then I'll go to the global.
Perfect. Right. So
that's the goal.
Yeah. So my sense is you've got a bunch of people. Here's the challenge for you. Just offer it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
And just offer it online rather than actual face-to-face. Keep your costs down.
There's no different cost for me doing it face-to-face because if they're local, and I have a free boardroom anyway, and it's just going to be getting them out of their normal environment. So I don't mind that for them.
If I can, one insight I've had is it's less about that and more about if they can jump on for 90 minutes or an hour and join on their laptop in a cafe or wherever they are.
Yes.
It's actually about it's the time cost, not the money cost.
Because I normally do this half a day.
Yeah. So I'm actually thinking if you did an hour a week over 4 weeks, I reckon you'd get a better uptake.
Okay.
It's just now only an hour commitment for someone. I'm thinking for myself as a business owner, if I have to go somewhere, it's now for half a day. I'm basically wiping out the full day.
Yeah.
Where if I go, it's an hour once a week, and I don't have to leave my office to do it. It's just purely an hour once a week. It's so much easier to access.
Yeah.
It's also easier for do you do much coaching using Zoom?
Yeah, I do a lot.
Yeah.
I think that this could be a real point of difference because I suspect for a lot of people it's the time investment, not the cost investment.
Yeah. Okay.
And because if you're doing it on Zoom, you can record it.
Yeah.
So if you've got 20 people on there, well, like today, there's a bunch of people who can't make it, but they'll get value out of this. So we record it, we put it up there, and then they can watch it at their leisure.
Yeah.
But here's the thing about turning your half day into 4 1-hour sessions. Yeah. You're also training them to turn up regularly for short periods of time to think about their business.
Yeah.
And you say, well, we do that for the next 12 months. And, whatever price you put on it, but I would think you could easily put $500 or $800 a month membership on that kind of thing and commit people for a full 12 months.
Yeah.
And look, if you get 20 people on there at $500 a piece and you're doing an hour a week with that community, that's good leverage.
Yeah.
It's good for them and it's really good for you.
Yeah. And, I could do, the other option is I could take what you've said, which, I haven't done before, which is new, take what I've said and do both.
Right.
Because I've got over 100 odd people and just say, this is the pilot program, and just say,
here's
just
the two
put
options.
It out to them and see how many do I get that want to be in this group? How many do I get that want to be in this group?
Great idea.
And then, the biggest problem would be if I had 2 groups. That would be terrible.
Bad problem to have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That would
but I
be
like,
great.
and I like that you can start to build your your concepts into this as well,
Mhm.
right? So you know, while you've been using, you know, a particular tool so far, you know, you might only just begin to use some of that tool, but use some of your ideas from the book in that first 30 days.
Yes.
So this is what I'm kind of excited about, is that I'll send you a copy of the email that I've done.
Okay.
You could literally just change the words to suit your, you know, to suit your audience.
Yeah.
And you could have that email out today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then it's just, because yours are already existing clients, you don't have to qualify them. It's just pick this day, you know, this time, hour a week. I started mine, so I had 2.5 weeks of filling up the pilot program.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll start next Monday, but then I've got other people coming in, so I'll make it evergreen so that people can come in and just start wherever they are and then keep going.
Yes. Okay.
So, Al, what about you? Is a pilot program something you could?
Once I've got enough people, once I've got enough leads.
Yep.
But it's also, I'm thinking it's possibly something you can just advertise outright.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, you know, that becomes your Facebook campaign.
Correct. Yeah.
And the thing I really like about it is that it, you know, you just have to go, well, what would I teach them in 30 days to get them a result?
Yep.
Like, it's really focused, and it's automatically set up that, you know, and I don't know what percentage of people go through. You know, I mean, it'd be wonderful if 100% of the people went, yeah, let's keep going. But it'd be just as wonderful if 20% of the people kept going as well.
Yeah. If you could get,
Like, if 4 people kept going, that'd be bloody awesome.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the other thing is, this is something that you can offer or get set up over the Christmas period. Yep. So you could be offering this to all sorts of people, so that you'll also start one in end of Jan or early Feb.
Yep.
Because lots of people are thinking about that.
Yep.
All right, time is nearly up.
Lots of good stuff, guys.
Lots of good stuff. Is there any questions we haven't answered, or thoughts you want some help with? Al, what about you?
No, I'm really just fine tuning the leads.
Yeah.
So fine tuning that advert and trialing some. I'm going to trial a different graphic.
Yeah.
And slightly different wording. Mainly slightly different graphics. So
just change one thing at a time. Like my first Facebook ad that I did, I kept the copy and I did 3 different pictures.
Yeah.
I was astounded that one picture converted 5 times more than the others.
Yep. So I'm actually going to drop the picture of the book as the image.
Right.
I'm going to try a different image.
Yep.
Rather than trying to stretch people too far.
Yeah. Yep. So just, you know, stick with the headline you got, change the images around.
Yep. Get
the image right, then we'll mess around with the headline.
Yep. No, cool.
All right, guys, let's get what's popped for you today? What's been valuable today? Susie, let's start with you.
I think the pilot program thing, it's sort of what I've been looking at, you know, brewing in the next couple of weeks, because first quarter's over.
Yeah.
But I just think changing the wording to pilot program and possibly trying it online instead of in the boardroom might be the game changer.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Yeah, because imagine if you got 30 people doing it.
Yeah, so that means I can't say, you know, I can say that the live one is the maximum of 12.
Yeah.
The online one, you know, maximum of, you know, a little bit more.
Well, you know, basically Zoom, if you 100 people is the max you can do on Zoom without going to a super high.
But you can also run 12 if you fill the first one, you just fill a second one.
Yeah.
So you run 3 groups of 12 or 2 groups of 12, but you might also tell them that they haven't got that one and reserve a place for the next one when it comes up for them as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And run it, see if it works for you. If it does, and you roll them into it, maybe.
Yeah. Yep. That's
Al, what's been the insights for you today?
For me, it's the testimonials. I've been thinking the testimonials are for the book, but if I'm getting someone like you say who's worked with you or read the book, so I think I can get both. Yeah.
It expands it. Just that one sentence, and I'll post it into the Facebook group. What great CEOs and thought leaders have to say about triggers and working with Marshall Goldsmith.
Yeah.
Well, I suspect not one of those people read that book before he put that in there, but they've all worked with him.
Yeah.
Very, very cunning plan.
He's a very clever boy, Mr. Goldsmith. Very clever.
He was on my list.
So we'll see you two on Wednesday evening for dinner.
Yes. So where are we going for dinner, Brett?
I've no idea. I won't get there till about 6, so I reckon.
I think same with us. As long as we're all eating in the same place, the same restaurant, that would be good.
Text each other when we arrive.
Yes. I'm not sure what time our flight arrives, but Paul and I are coming over together. So,
Hopefully with an upgrade.
Yeah, I'll have a look at my flight details and I'll text you anyway. If we arrive around the same time, we can all Uber to the place together.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. I think I arrive 5:40 because it's only 10 minutes down to Glenelg, isn't it?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, around the corner. And depending upon the time I come through. So, Suzanne, I'm coming from my other office, which is about 3 hours away. So, it depends what time I leave there. I may be able to pick you all up. Or at least 3 people. I can pick 3 people up anyway.
Yeah. It'll only be Suzanne, Paul and I, the only 3 that matter.
But arrive, I think it looks like we arrive at 4:10.
Oof.
Yeah. You'll be in early.
You'll be in way early. You'll be able to take a walk down the beach.
You'll be feet up with a cocktail by the time we get there.
Absolutely. Beer and hot, definitely. Thanks, guys. You're amazing.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
See you Wednesday evening.
See you on Wednesday in Adelaide.
Yep, and we're catching up the Savo.
Yep, I've got after you've had a surf.
Correct, mate.
See you guys.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.